we got flames. So look who's back in the studio, Project Betty. And a lot of you guys have been asking, whatever happened to Project Betty? Did we put this car out to pasture? Are we ever gonna finish it? Well, we are. I mean, Betty went away for a long time. He didn't check the brakes, did he? Unfortunately, a lot of it to do with new parts we were looking to get. We were building the engine for this car, we're building a 331 stroker, and some of the parts we wanted to get just weren't available. And there are other parts we were trying to get that we heard were coming from some manufacturers we wanted to use. Unfortunately, due to supply chain issues and other parts issues, those parts never came either. So unfortunately, Betty went into storage for a while we waited for an engine to be built. But thankfully, our friends down at Accelerated Machine have got the short block together, and we're finally ready to get a heart back under the hood of this car. Now, if you're not familiar with Project Betty, well, hang on here and we'll show you what we've done so far, and then we'll head down to Accelerated Machine and show you what the next step's gonna be. Now, if you're not familiar with Project Betty, this is our 65 Mustang Coupe we rescued from a local enthusiast probably a couple years ago now. Now, the guy that owned it had big plans for the car, but unfortunately wasn't really ever able to get it done. So we bought the car and we brought it back to the shop. Now, at the time, it was a complete car, but it hadn't run in, I'm gonna say, probably 20 plus years. But we actually got it running and driving, had a little bit of fun with it, and then the build began. We started taking it apart, and so far we've done a lot of content on this car. We did new parking lights, new Delta Tech headlights, we did new taillights, all LED, we did brand new bumpers on it, we did a complete painless wiring harness for this car, a classic instruments gauge cluster, distinctive industry seats, whole suspension from SPC and QA1, and topped it off with a set of legendary wheels. Now, the next step obviously is gonna be the powertrain. We are gonna do a 5-speed conversion with this car, and like I said, we're gonna go with a 331 small block. So one of the things when we were building Project Betty we tried to do was kind of stick with a budget build, something that most enthusiasts at home could do to their own 65 Mustang. You know, we didn't go with a crazy set of huge disc brakes. We went with a very affordable set of standard disc brake conversion kit on this car. We also didn't, like I said, go with anything extreme. You know, we'd have loved to have done a Gen 3 Coyote with a blower and a 10 or 80 behind it, but we want to do the kind of build that you guys can do at home and replicate yourself. That's why a lot of the parts we used are great quality parts, but again, they're also very affordable. Now, it's great to have Project Betty back in the shop. We've done a ton of videos on this car so far, but right now our goal is to get that engine done down at Accelerated Machine, get it back here, get it back under the hood of Project Betty where it belongs, and keep this project going, and hopefully this summer, we'll see it out on the road. So this is actually the motor that we tore apart how long ago that looked like a boat anchor when we took it apart, but obviously looks way better now.
So we started with the dirty 302 roller that Bill brought down. And Bill kind of gave us free rein, told us to do whatever we wanted. We opted to go with a Scat 331 stroker kit. Scat tends to be fairly affordable, so we went with their crankshaft and connecting rods, as well as a set of SRP pistons. Part of the reason this project's been taking a while is because we've been working on a private label cylinder head. There'll be a 180cc aluminum cylinder head, which would be a nice compromise for the street. It should make good power, but ultimately on a street-driven car, you want something that's going to have manners and drive.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, this car's going to be a fun toy.
Right.
Like we want it to be an affordable car people can reproduce at home.
Exactly.
You know, kind of do the same thing. We're not looking for something that doesn't want to idle and doesn't want to run.
Right.
But it sounds like, I mean, is it safe to say 331 with those 180s on there and a decent, what do you think, a 650-ish carb?
Probably, yeah.
300, 325 horse, maybe minimum?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Probably more than that.
More than that,
Which
yeah.
for a 2,100-pound car should be more than enough.
Right.
All right, so I might have been a little conservative on those numbers. I mean, what are you thinking on the dyno?
When we're all done with it, we'll throw it on there and find out, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was closer to 400.
Which would be more than enough for Project Betty.